Revenge. Revenge is a tempting emotion and a trap people often fall into. This person hurt you, so naturally you want to hurt them back. Then the world's fair and right. And today we'll be breaking down a duel built on revenge. Kisara versus Asakura. Well, actually, Asakura's real name is Jared, but I'll let him tell you why we're calling him Asakura.
I am Asakura, the first of Phaethon's dragon hunters. My real name is Jared, but I like Asakura. This sounds more badass.
It may be evil, but he's not wrong. The villain known as Jared just doesn't have the same ring to it. Anyway, Asakura sends a challenge to Kisara's brother Eli, who was just brought back to the good side. He tells Eli via message that he has his red eyes black chick and dragon, and will only give them back if he wins them back in a duel against him. Eli unfortunately can't accept the challenge because he has to stop item hunters from collecting millennium items far away in the land of He has a plan though. They divide and conquer. Kisara will get the red eyes and he'll stop the item hunters. Kisara isn't happy about losing her brother again, but agrees and makes him promise to keep in touch with her. Setting off a spin-off series, Postcards from Eli. Kisara goes to meet Asakura, who's surprised to see her. He was hoping it'd be the other way around, but doesn't mind. In fact, he's so happy, he removes the safeguards on their duel disc, increasing the pain they'll be feeling in this duel. And with all this setup out of the way, let's quit our stalling and get brawling. The duel begins and Asakura goes first. He draws, and his opening hand consists of Boganian, Machine King, Scrap Iron Scarecrow, Monster Reborn, Cannon Soldier, and Cyber Dark Horde. He begins by summoning Boganian in attack mode. He then sets the Scrap Iron Scarecrow face down and ends his turn. It's Kisara's turn. She draws, and her opening hand consists of Vorse Raider, the White Son of Legend, Damage Giant, Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon, and two mysterious cards that are ultimately unknown and just bricks. So we'll just say they're Chaos Form and Sword Stalker? It'll do. She normally summons Vorse Raider in attack mode. She orders it to attack Boganian, but Asakura activates his face-down Scrap Iron Scarecrow. This card can negate one attack from an opponent's monster, then reset itself face down on the field for next turn. Kisara ends her turn. Here's play for not setting the damage diet. Why not set it? There might be a situation where you need to have the damage. Spoiler alert, there's going to be a situation where she'll want to have the damage. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets enemy controller. During the standby phase, Boganian's effect activates, inflicting 600 points of damage to Kisara. Main phase 1, he activates enemy controller and uses its second effect, tributing his Boganian to take control of Vorse Raider until the end of the turn. Now he sacrifices Vorse Raider to tribute summon the Machine King. The Machine King gains 100 attack points for every machine type monster in the field, so its attack becomes 2300. Now he uses Monster Reborn to revive his Boganian in defense position and raise the Machine King's attack points to 2400. Asakura orders Machine King to attack directly, knocking Kisara down to 1000 life points. Asakura says he just needs one more turn in order to defeat her and ends his turn. Well, the thing is, you could have beaten her this turn if you had just summoned Boganian in attack mode. Then you could have just attacked quickly with both monsters and wipe Kisara out. I can only think of 3 reasons why he didn't summon Boganian in attack mode: Fear of Kuribo, Battle Fader, or Gores. The first two are because he doesn't want his Machine King attack being wordless and having a weak monster on the field like Boganian. And Gores is because it's Gores, it explains itself. And even in the event he didn't want his weak Boganian run over, why didn't you just use Monster Reborn to revive Kisara's Vorse Raider? That thing has 1900 attack points, and even if she does negate the attack, you got 2 monsters in the field with 1900 plus attack points. If she doesn't block the attack, guess what? You still win. Oh no though, my Machine King won't have an extra 100 attack points. You're about to win the duel, who cares? You don't need to worry about 600 burn. You'll do about as much damage as Boganian with a direct attack and a burn damage. Done deal. Moron. So that's at least 2 misplays from Asakura, but Kisara ain't off the hook just yet. She should set that damage die, because if she had set that damage die, this whole situation would be null and void. She could just activate that trap card. Now granted, I could be wrong with the hand breakdowns, but I put damage die where it makes the most amount of sense for it to be in this point in the duel. Misplaced the both players very early on. Let's continue. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Rainbow Life. She says there's not much she can do with her current hand, so she sets Damage Die and Rainbow Life face down and ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets Defense Draw. During the standby phase, Kisara takes another 600 points of damage. Asakura enters his main phase 1 and summons Cannon Soldier in attack mode, and he activates Cannon Soldier's effect, tributing Boganian to inflict 500 points of damage to Kisara. However, Kisara activates her trap damage side, so the damage was halved and she only took 250 damage. Now Asakura is mad and attacks directly with Machine King. Kisara responds by activating her trap card Rainbow Light by discarding her Whitestone of Legend. She gains life points equal to the damage she would have taken instead. She gains 1200 life points and is now up to 1350 life points. And because Whitestone went to the graveyard, Kisara can add one Blue Eyes White Dragon from her deck to her hand. Since attacking more would only heal Kisara, he enters his main phase 2. Asakura sets defense draw face down and ends his turn. Well, this turn was kind of a fuster too, now wasn't it? Now I get why Kisara wanted to activate damage die. Get Asakura this false insecurity before you deny him victory. Then he gets really pissed off and tries to go for overkill, only for that to fail too. But once again, I must give both duelists a misplay. Asakura first this time. When Kisara survived Cannon Soldier's effect, just use Cannon Soldier's effect again. It wasn't a once per turn after all. You can just try to burn her out of life points, and if she does activate Rainbow Life there, she's only up to 400 life points. And then you can just not attack. Problem solved. Granted, Machine King went down to 2300 attack points, but she has no monsters in the field. You have nothing to worry about right now. She will get out the alternative next turn, but you don't know that. And Kisara should have used her Rainbow Life once he uses Boganian's effect. That way you'd be up to 1600 life points right now. Granted, Asakura wouldn't do any damage for the rest of the turn, so Boganian sticks around instead of being tributed, but even then, 1600 is higher than the 1350 you're at now. Plus, you'll get to keep your damage die for later. So, misplay to both duelists. Back to the duel. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Just to be safe, she sets her face down on the field in defense position. Then she reveals her Blue Eyes White Dragon in her hand, allowing her to special summon the Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon in attack mode. Since Scrap Iron Scarecrow makes attacking pointless, she activates Alternative's effect, letting her destroy one monster the opponent controls. Machine King is reduced to spare parts. Alternative can't attack the turn it uses effect though, so Kisara ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets Buzz of Greed. He activates it.
This I can
Draw 2 cards! Everybody knows what he does!
Spoil sport. He draws Mass Dragon and Goblin's Secret Remedy. He sets Mass Dragon in face down defense position and ends his turn. Probably should have switched that Cannon Soldier into defense mode too, but he probably has an extra feeling of security due to Scrap Iron Scarecrow, so I'll let it slide. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Spear Dragon. She summons it and immediately enters her battle phase. She orders Alternative to attack Cannon Soldier, but Asakura activates Scrap Iron Scarecrow. She then orders Spear Dragon to attack Cannon Soldier, destroying it, inflicting 500 points of damage to Asakura. Spear Dragon switches to defense mode due to its own effect though, and Kisara ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets Thunder Crash. Asakura passes, not having anything good to play. Now he could have switched his Mass Dragon to attack mode and have it destroy Spear Dragon. Thing is, Kisara would most likely respond with using Alternative's effect. And Mass Dragon's effect only activates if it's destroyed by battle, which is what Asakura wants. Plus, it would cause an error in the duel later, but I'll get to that one later. And since 800 life points isn't saving him, I'll let it slide. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Defense Draw. She switches Spear Dragon back to attack mode and enters her battle phase. She orders Alternative to attack the set monster. Asakura activates Scrap Iron Scarecrow, and then Kisara has her Spear Dragon attack and destroy Mass Dragon. And because Spear Dragon inflicts piercing damage when attacking, Asakura loses 800 life points. But because Mass Dragon is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, Asakura can special summon one Dragon-type monster with 1500 or less attack points from his deck. He summons Black Dragon's Chick. Spear Dragon switches to defense mode, and Kisara prepares for an incoming Red Eyes Black Dragon. She sets Defense Draw face down and ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets Cyber Dark Edge. He activates Thunder Crash, destroying every monster he controls to inflict 300 points of damage per monster. Chick is destroyed, Kisara takes 300 damage. Could have used damage dice graveyard effect to have that 300 damage, but it is also 300 damage, so meh. Asakura admits he's been holding back, but now he can be serious, especially now that he got his cards back from Solaris. Kisara asks what Sonic 06 have to do with any of this, and Asakura explains that he was trained by Solaris, whom took his best cards when he turned evil. Kisara realizes that's the man who trained her mother, and asks what he did to him.
You know, we had a nice little talk, we dueled, had some tea and crumpets, maybe a few scones. Oh, I think we did a musical number somewhere in the middle of our duel. And then I killed him after I won!
What?
Kisara promises to make him pay, and Asakura says he'd love to see her try. Returning to the duel, he normal summons Cyber Dark Horn in attack mode. The Cyber Dark effect activates, equipping it to a level 3 or lower dragon in Asakura's graveyard. He equips Black Chick, so Horn gains 800 attack points. Asakura has Horn attack Spear Dragon, and Horn's unique effect is that it can do piercing damage, Spear Dragon destroyed, but at damage calculation, Kisara activates Defense Draw. So Kisara takes no damage and can draw 1 card, which is Dimensional Prison. Frustrated, Asakura ends his turn. Now we have a misplay from Asakura because he could have equipped Horn with the Masked Dragon in his graveyard in order to boost his Horn up to 2200 attack points. Although there is a reason behind this misplay. There is simply no animation of Cyberdark Horn being equipped with a Masked Dragon. There is, however, footage of Cyberdark Horn being equipped with a Raz Black Chick, which is why he picks what he picks. But here's the thing.
Black Chick is actually Eli's monster.
So you could say he equipped the chick just to rub it a bit more in Kisara's face that he took her brother's card. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Mystical Space Typhoon. She immediately activates it and blows up Scrap Iron Scarecrow. Then she has alternative attack Horn. Asakura takes 1400 points of damage, but by unequipping Chick, Horn isn't destroyed. Kisara ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets extra Foolish Burial. He activates it, paying half his life points to send 1 monster from his extra deck to the graveyard.
He chooses Solaris's Cyber End Dragon.
He doesn't tell Kisara this though, which isn't allowed, but it's for drama, so it gets a pass. Now he normal summons Cyberdark Edge, whom equips Chick from the graveyard. Battle phase, Asakura orders Edge to attack directly, using its unique effects. But its attack is halved, so Kisara only takes 800 points of damage. Asakura ends his turn. Should have switched the Horn to defense mode, but it's not gonna matter anyway. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Draining Shield. She sets it face down immediately. Though not the Dimensional Prison, though, she's saving that bad boy. Preferring to get the monster off the field rather than do damage, she activates Alternative's effect to destroy Edge, which succeeds because it was a card effect.
Kisara ends her turn. Misplay for not attacking Edge with Alternative because that's 1400 damage against 650 life points. And granted, Asakura could use that defense draw he has face down to survive, but that would also mean that he doesn't get to use it later, meaning Asakura wouldn't be able to use it to save himself later. So, misplay.
It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets the anime version of Card of Sanctity. He activates it, so both duelists draw until they hold 6 cards in their hand.
Asakura draws 5 cards, which are Blue Medicine,
Anime Powerwall, Rebirth Judgment, Cyberdark Impact, and Offerings to the Dune. Kisara draws 3 cards, which are Graceful Charity, Blue Eyes White Dragon, and Honest.
Seems Asakura made the classic Yu-Gi-Oh! Blunder, not setting a spell or traps before activating Card of Sanctity. What are you gonna do?
He sets Powerwall and Rebirth Judgment face down, and ends his turn. Horn is bait, so it's not a misplay they didn't switch to defense mode this time. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Drop Off. She sets Drop Off in Dimensional Prison, then activates Graceful Charity, drawing 3 unknown cards, and then discarding 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Battle phase. She orders Alternative to attack Horn, but Asakura activates the Anime Powerball. Now he can mill cards from the top of his deck to the graveyard, and for every card milled, the damage he takes is reduced by 100. Despite only being about to take 2200 points of damage, he sends 30 cards to the graveyard. So Horn dies, but the damage is 0. Kisara says he must be desperate to risk decking out, but Asakura says that he has enough cards left to win. And this is all according to plan anyway. Kisara has a bad feeling about this, because she's not an idiot, and ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn. He draws and gets Cyberdark Keel. He activates Rebirth Judgment, letting him turn every single monster in both duelists' graveyard into whatever type he declares, and he declares Dragon type. Next he summons Keel, but doesn't use its effect, because he immediately activates Cyberdark Impact. This shuffles Horn, Keel, and Edge from his field and graveyard back into his deck in order to fusion summon his strongest monster.
Cyberdark Dragon!
Dragon's effect activates, equipping it to any dragon monster in Asakura's grave, and gain its attack points. He chooses Cyber End Dragon. Kisara asks how this is possible, since Cyber End is a machine-type monster. Because she's an idiot. Dragon gains End's attack points, and additionally because Asakura has 30 monsters in his graveyard, the dragon gains 100 attack points for each, putting it at 8,000! Asakura enters the battle phase and orders Cyberdark Dragon to kill Alternative, but Kisara activates her trap card Draining Shield, so the attack is negated, and she gains life points equal to Cyberdark's attack points. Asakura curses Kisara for refusing to die, and remembering a woman who he trained with. And now that he thinks about it, Kisara reminds him a lot of her. He takes off his mask.
Oh my god, it's him!
I can't believe it.
Damn, I totally didn't see that coming.
Okay, so does anybody actually know this guy?
Nope.
Never met him.
He asks if the name Betty means anything to Kisara, and Kisara says that that's her mom's name.
Why did you say that name?
Asakura says that it all makes sense now, but he would always kick his ass when they trained under Solaris, and it pissed him off. But he joined forces with Viathan and was finally able to beat her, and in celebration, he killed her. Kisara reacts in shock, anger, and sorrow all at once, and promises to send Asakura straight to hell. It's Kisara's turn. She draws and gets Dragon's Mirror. She activates it, banishing her blue eyes on the field and her grave to fusion summon level 12.
Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon!
She orders it to attack Cyberdark Dragon and says she'll win. Asakura assumes she's gone mad, and Kisara says that she's just being honest. And thanks on its effect, her light monster gains attack points equal to Cyberdark's.
The attack connects, but...
Unfortunately for Kisara, Asakura chooses now to activate his set card, Defense Draw. So he takes no damage and got to draw one card, which is Dian Kito, the Cure Master. Also, Cyberdark survived by unequipping Cyber End, but now its attack points drop to 4,100.
Yes, the graphic does show 4,000, but there is now a new monster in Asakura's graveyard, so it should be up to 4,100. That said, this is a nitpick, so we're just gonna move on.
Kisara ends her turn. It's Asakura's turn, and the penultimate turn of the duel. He draws and gets Raigeki. Doesn't matter though, because Kisara activates Drop Off, sending Raigeki straight to the graveyard. Asakura orders Cyberdark Dragon to kill Kisara's set monster. Kisara responds by activating Dimensional Prison, which banishes Cyberdark Dragon because it declared an attack. Desperate to get that ultimate dragon off the field, Asakura activates Offerings to the Doomed. This card destroys Ultimate Dragon, but Asakura has to skip his next draw phase. Not that he'll get one. Kisara curses him, but Asakura doesn't care because he activates 3 more spell cards. First, Goblin Secret Remedy, so he gains 600 life points. Second, Blue Medicine, so he gains another 400 life points. And thirdly, Dian Kito, so he gains another 1,000 life points. So now he sits comfortably at 2,650 life points. Why he saved all these healing cards till now, and why doesn't he just run 3 Dian Kitos, I have no idea. But I'm also not a mass murderer, as far as you know. Asakura ends his turn, saying as soon as he's done with Kisara, next will be her brother, and maybe even that girl Kisara's been crushing on. Kisara calls him a soulless bastard, and promises to make him pay for everyone he's ever hurt. It's Kisara's turn, and the final turn of the duel. She draws and gets the anime version of Berserker Soul. She flip summons her obnoxious Celtic Guardian. Asakura tells Kisara that that monster won't even put a dent in his life points. Battle phase, Celtic Guardian attacks directly, putting a dent in his life points. Asakura laughs though, cause now she has to end her battle phase. But Kisara says that she's not done. She activates Berserker Soul. Now she discards her entire hand of presumably bricks to the graveyard, so she can keep attacking for every monster she draws. She draws and gets Made with Eyes of Blue, so Celtic Guardian attacks for game! But she's not done yet. She draws again and gets Sage with Eyes of Blue. Another monster means another attack! Another draw, and this just isn't his day. She got another monster, so she attacks again! She draws, monster, attack. She draws, monster, attack! She draws, spell? Ah, screw that didn't count. Draw, spell again? No matter how many times she draws, her deck tells her that enough is enough. Asakura fades into dust and Kisara breaks down crying. Revenge didn't make her feel any better, because revenge doesn't have winners, only people who lose more. So could Asakura have defeated Kisara? I proved that by turn 3, yes. No burn, no power boost, just an all assault on her life points. Because after that, he doesn't really get the chance again. That one mistake of choosing defense mode instead of attack mode ended up costing him the entire duel, and his chance at accomplishing his mission. Best explanation I can give as to why is that he prefers to torture his prey before killing them, just like Yami Merrick. Kisara meanwhile did a good job dueling by about the 5th turn onward. She had some weird decisions with Rainbow Life and Damage Diet, but once she learned the truth about Asakura, she held nothing back and let him feel the full weight of her fury. But like I said, all these vendettas, all these quests for revenge, all they led to were a bunch of dead bodies and empty feelings. Because revenge doesn't solve problems, it just pushes them onto someone else. But what do you all think? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to check out Treasure Key Studios, and send them a Blue Eyes Jet Dragon for Christmas. This is a joke, do not actually do that. But I thank you all for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see all of you next time. Later!